Hey there, Shalligators. Okay, so quick backstory on this video. A few days ago, I did a video for you guys and I ended up talking about way too many things. And so what I'm doing is I'm breaking that video into manageable pieces with different topics. So originally the video was starting out talking about Gwen Stefani saying she's Japanese and what we can do to come back from a very cringe episode in our life. But I ended up also talking about celebrities I've met who were great and ones that I hated because I hated Gwen Stefani. And at the beginning of that video, I touched on this TikToker, Remy Bader, who I've not really heard of. I know she has that, is it a podcast? Not Skinny, but Not Fat, which I have heard of. But she is going around running her mouth about Ozempic, the weight loss drug. It's not a weight loss drug, it's a diabetic drug that I have been very honest with you guys. I've been on for about a year now and has helped me regulate my A1C, my hypoglycemia, my insulin, and drop 50 pounds. She's been talking a lot about how it didn't work for her. It either didn't work or it did for a while and now she's gaining the weight back. And I'm sorry, her story is not adding up. And you know, if there's one thing I hate, it's a victim narrative that's not reliant on logic. So today, I'm going to refute some of the things she's saying. I'm not trying to negate her experience, but like I said, it doesn't really add up. And so I'm going to do a deep dive, not a deep dive, the video is pretty short, but I wanted to take that piece from the video I already filmed and do kind of a different intro on it. So you're going to see me in a different outfit from a few days ago. Who were we all then? 3 days ago. Did I look younger? Was I more vivacious? Was there a sparkle of hope in my eyes? I do not know. But before we get into what I say there, I want to touch on what she's saying here. But before I get into that, I want to remind you guys, join the Shallontourage. I am just loving our little internet community. It's our, I guess you call it a little fan club. You get 4 or 5 extra bonus videos a week. I do story times. I do deep dive on psychological studies, things like how to accept rejection, how to calm down and avoid burnout. We do sex tips, fuckboy Friday, slutty Saturday, serene Sunday, evil Monday. Plus, I think there's 10 or 12 now Telegram chats that everyone's on and they're connecting, people planning trips to meet up with each other. So if you're looking for more connection with me, if you're looking for more deep dives on some of the stuff I talk about that doesn't really include celebs, or if you're looking to make some friends and have some connection and maybe just step outside your normal zone a little bit, it's a really, really great place. And I'm really excited for the Valentine's Day content that's coming up. You guys are going to get some exclusive access to that. So go ahead and click the link down below. So I want to talk about Remy Bader now. Okay. I feel like every day I open my Instagram and there's something that this chick is saying about Ozempic. Quick recap. You guys know this. I was on Ozempic. I am on Ozempic. I started it in September 2021. My A1C was all over the place. A1C is like a marker of your insulin. And if it's high, you are pre-diabetic, which I was, and then you become diabetic. And that's really fucking bad. We all know that. I went on it. I have had incredible results. And I talk more about this later in the video. But I have incredible results. Yeah, because it's incredible. It's an incredible medicine. But I also have incredibly changed my lifestyle. And I want you to keep that in mind. So Remy, curve model, what is that? Said that when she went off Ozempic, she gained double the weight back. Okay. They said I needed this, she said. And I had a lot of mixed feelings because then a few months later, I got into the bad binge eating and I went off it. Hold on a second here. So Remy has talked before about her binge eating. I guess this is something she talks about on TikTok. I don't follow her. Why would I? So I'm just going to break down this sentence. I was on it. I got into binge eating and then went off it. So she had just said, I gained double the weight back after she went off it. But then she contradicts herself and said she was already binge eating on the drug. This drug, it's not a magic wand. It is as close to a magic wand, I guess, as we're going to get. But you still have to have some sort of personal accountability. She also said that this drug is brand new and she was so scared. This drug is not brand new. It's at least 12 years old. It was 12 years old when I went on it in 2021. So it's not brand new and she was so scared. Again, the victim narrative kicks in almost instantaneously. There is a pattern I have seen with this person based on not a ton of research I've done on her. I don't need to. of offloading her health onto other people, not just her health, her body specifically, and what she eats. It's all like, I was scared, but they told me I needed it. Oh, it's like the binge eating came back. The binge eating is you putting food in your hand and putting it in your mouth. That's what binge eating is. And you doing it more times than your body wants and more times than is healthy. Keep that in mind. I saw a doctor and they were like, it's 100% because you went on Ozempic. She said of the impact going off the medication had on her. The sentence is a mess. It was making me think I wasn't hungry for so long. I lost some weight. I didn't want to be obsessed with being on it long term. I was like, I bet the second I got off it, I'm going to get starving again. I did, and my binging got so much worse. So then I kind of blamed Ozempic. So she had already decided while she was on this drug that when she went off it, she was going to go right back to her habits. She decided that. And surprise, surprise, she found a way to make that happen. I bet the second I got off it, I'm going to be starving again. Binge eating is not about being hungry. We've all binged. Like, binge eating disorder, I guess, is its own fucking thing. If you're a human woman on planet Earth, you know what a binge is. You're just like, oh God. Is it about hunger? No. It's about obsession. It's about self-loathing. It's about emotions. It's about anxiety. It's not about hunger. If it was, then a serving size would be an entire pizza, 4 sleeves of Oreos. It wouldn't be a thing if it was about hunger. It wouldn't be considered binging. And what pisses me off is these headlines are like, Remy Bader gets real about the drug. She's not getting real. This is not facts. This is her disorder. This is her disordered eating and her victim narrative masquerading as an immutable truth that this drug will make you worse off once you get on it. Because that's what happened to her, because as she herself said, she decided that's what she was going to do. I don't hear in anything in her interview that she got any psychological help for her binge eating disorder. And I think it's very interesting to note that this woman's entire brand is kind of being fat. I mean, her podcast is called Not Skinny But Not Fat. Her TikTok is like realistic clothing hauls, inclusive sizes. Now all she wants to talk about is Ozempic and how it didn't work for her. Is she incentivized to have this work for her? Is she incentivized to be thin? Does this fit into the narrative she has come up for herself? Is her brand anything other than that her body, which is not that thin? I have a lot more to say than, oh, I'm thin. Here's my good body. I'm fat. I don't like feeling like this. That's not my brand. It's part of me as a human being, so I share it with you guys because that's what we do here. We share what we're going through, but that's not my channel. That's not my brand. So me being fat or thin doesn't move the needle in terms of my content either way. Her, it's different. The psychology that she has so much, I guess you could call it entanglements with like her career and her persona and her body. It's very, very unhealthy. And you can see that it's unhealthy because it skews instantaneously into a victim narrative, instantaneously. You know, people are like, oh, praise her. She's so honest. She's a victim narrative, again, masquerades as honesty. They're just sharing their truth. No, they're sharing their version. They're sharing their narrative because they have a specific emotional reaction they want from people, because they need to fill up something inside. How do we know she needs to fill up something inside? The binge eating. Again, I've been there. You've been there. Like, most of us know what that feels like. We also know how bad it sucks. And if you get sick of feeling like that, you take steps to correct it. She didn't. She took a step, which is Ozempic, hoping that this was just gonna like be a magic bullet. Not always the way it goes. I don't know if she took any psychological steps. She's also the person who talked about how they wouldn't let her on a horse in the Hamptons at a press weekend because she was too fat. And you know what? I did feel like I felt for her when she shared that, because she wasn't being bitchy about it, you know? She's like, I understand. Like, I don't want to hurt an animal. There's a weight limit. Like, I get it. She's like, but they were just really, I just felt like the people there were being rude to me or making fun of me or something like that. And I was definitely like on, you know, I'm on her team, you know, with that. Like, I get it. And that's terrible if someone's like making fun of you. But again, it goes to, this is her whole brand. Like, she got a lot of juice out of being too fat for that horse. She got a lot of juice over being bullied for her weight. That maybe that happened, maybe it didn't. But again, all she has to say seems to be about her body. So when we set up a life like this, whether it's about our body, that's pretty niche. I'm a TikToker who talks about her body. Whether it's like, I'm the girl, I just always attract fuckboys and guys just always cheat on me. Or it's like, I just never get ahead at work. Whatever your victim narrative is, guess the fuck what? You're gonna find a way to make that happen. You're gonna find a way to pull yourself towards those people, circumstances, and outcomes. And it's not some like woo-woo hippie magic. It's literally fucking behaviors. Because you are getting some emotional payout from those failures, because they're not failures to you. If they were actual emotional failures, you would find a way to stop doing them. If they felt bad enough, and if they ran up against an idea you have of yourself that is contrary to the feeling of failure, of course I get ahead at work. I'm meant to get ahead at work. I'm smarter than everyone here. I'm not staying in this fucking job. Excuse me, I'm not dating cheaters. Okay, so I'm gonna look at those red flags and I'm gonna avoid dudes who have them because I don't like how this feels. That outcome is contrary to how I see myself. Remy's outcome in Ozempic is not contrary to how she sees herself. It reinforces it and she gets a payout from it. I say this, I'm not trying to shred this chick, but I'm trying to make us all aware of what victim narratives look like in other people, and most importantly, what they look like in us, right? I want you to look around your life and say, where am I kind of being a Remy? Where am I telling myself that there's this narrative, there's this outcome, and I make sure that happens? Where do I do that? And what is the payout I'm getting from it? I'll tell you mine. And then I'm going to get into the part of the video. We're a little all over the place, but that's okay. At least everything I'm saying is logical. So we can be all over the place when we're saying everything that's factual and logical. Victim narratives, they got to stay on a real narrow path because otherwise they show their ass. My victim narrative is that I'm very bad at math and science and anything technical. I can't put together a bookshelf. I can't figure out how to change my oil. I can't do that. Like I'm a smart person, but I don't have that type of intelligence. That's what I tell myself. That's what I tell other people. I'm signing up for flight school. I'm starting flying lessons because I would like to see if I can get my pilot's license. And my victim narrative, I've had to become very aware of it because I've already told myself, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do this. You're not smart enough, Shallon. You don't have this type of intelligence. You can write a cute story about this. You can do a fun video about it. I don't think you can actually do it. And then I'm like, okay, well, what's my payout here? Why is this a good thing? Well, because then I don't have to stick with things. Because I was just doomed to fail. There was no way. Why stick it out? Because I was never going to make it. So why run 26 miles if you know you're not going to make it 26.2? Quit at mile 1, right? And then I don't feel like a failure. It was just predetermined. I'm just the girl who can't fly a plane. And it's tough. It's tough because the thing with the victim narrative is it's not always wrong. It's not always wrong. Sometimes we can be perfectly aware and, acute and discerning about guys, and they will still cheat on you and you will not see it coming. You can try your hardest at a job and they're going to tell you we want to promote you and they will still hold you down. And you can study as much as you want for that flight exam and you might still fail. So it's very difficult to run up against a victim narrative when sometimes it's proving you right and you feel victimized by it. It's difficult. I get it. But if we can be aware, then if we do have those victim points, we fail, there's a cheat, we get held down, we don't pass the test, whatever. It's not, well, of course. It's, well, fuck, man. This is an outlier. Because what makes it an outlier versus par for